welcome to a special episode to talk about last night's barbed wire everywhere match. Who's better than to talk about the barbed wire everywhere than the man who's in ECW in the barbed wire? Pitbull won, Gary Wolf.
What's up, guys? I thought it was a crazy match. I liked that Chris got color early, which was a good thing. I seen that immediately. Of course, it was a fuck finish. I don't know why they keep forgetting about the Spanish guy. What's his name? Guevara, Sammy. Like, he should have been in the cage, right?
I said it right away. I was like, where's Guevara? Oh, know how this, and Ruby Soho sitting there to push a button. Okay, we know where this is going right away.
Yeah. But I like Eddie Kingston. He's a friend of mine. He used to come to my school all the time in Philly. I'm very happy for him. He's getting a good push. He does great promos. His work is, but he's got good promos and he's real when he does them. I thought the match was it about an hour long?
It was long. They went to a couple commercial breaks.
Yeah. See, that's the only thing I have a problem with AEW is these commercial breaks while they're doing a match. I don't like that. I think they should, especially when it's a big match and they go to these commercial breaks. I just don't like. I think it's stupid. I can't
watch the picture in a picture. I'm not focused on the match that's this big. I gotta watch the fucking commercial for breaks or something on the other one. It's like, no, I hate this.
And that's how it is. And I just wish they would fix that somehow. And that deals with the referees and that deals with the TV guys. I mean, you could still do it. It's just that they're trying to get so many promos in. It's like I get they're trying to build storylines up, but I mean, last night, there was just so many promos. It was just too many, I thought. Now, where's MGF been?
By the time he comes back, who's going to remember it?
Well, I know they gave him more money to keep him. So he probably said, I'll sign the deal, but I want some time off. Which maybe he can go get a real tan instead of putting that stuff on him that makes his hands orange.
What do you think of the my bitch, and I'm sure Cornette is probably having a field day right now, in the barbed wire match. In the beginning, when Eddie takes the microphone that's even got the gimmick barbed wire, the camera work is, I don't fault Jericho, I fault the production. You can watch it plain as day. Jericho falls down, he takes his blade, you're watching him, he takes the blade out of the wrist, he's gigging himself, he's putting it back, you saw that plain as day. And then even later, he takes out the blade, he cuts his pants, which is, to give it that, like the barbed wire did it, cuts his pants, he gives the blade to fucking Aubrey. Why they have Aubrey in there in a barbed wire, I don't know. But the camera was like right on him. Somebody in Gorilla has to change the camera. Why are you watching a guy cut up his head? It makes your product look bad.
I saw the same thing. He went right down in the middle of the ring. He took his gimmick out, and I said, look, he's blading right now. I said early. I said, look, right now. Why wouldn't they take that camera off him and put it right on Eddie? And then go back to Chris when he's gushing, So, I mean, I'm glad they started hot and they did fight hot, which was a good thing. But regardless, that match, I wouldn't have gave it to everybody for free. I would have made people pay for that match.
Yeah, no commercial interruptions. I would have had Eddie win. How hard is it for Jericho to do a fucking job?
It wouldn't have hurt Jericho at all putting Eddie over. If anything, it would have made Eddie look better. And it wouldn't have hurt. It would not have hurt Jericho, because what's one loss? It's not a big deal.
I mean, if you think about it, well, Eddie and his team won blood and guts. It was like, that was Cesaro, a former WWE guy, making somebody tap. You didn't win. WWE won. And in this one, like you said, and I'm sorry, clearly they had everything worked. They had everything worked out what they were going to do. Couldn't nobody test that lock on that fucking cage? I mean, how long did she stumble around trying to get them guys unlocked? Two of them slid through the bars.
That's how damn skinny they are.
Yes.
That goes to show you they don't even work out, but they could actually slip through a cage. Blows my mind. Now, if that don't tell you these guys need to hit the gym, I don't know what does.
Well, I like Ty Conte. I think she is beyond beautiful. I think she makes great facials. But yeah, when she ran down and beat up Ruby, that's a wasted talent there. She beats up Ruby. Here comes Anna Jay. She turns on Ruby. She's back with Ty Conte. They can't get the gate open, and then sure enough, here, you're waiting for it. Here comes Santana or Ortiz. I don't want to Moxley, Yuta. Here they all come, big fight. But yeah, like it's right away. Okay, Sammy Guevara's not here, so you knew he was going to show up. And if you watch it close, when Eddie shoves Jericho into Sammy, like he's going to grab him, they stop because he didn't push him hard enough, and then they jump towards each other and do the lockup. It was Eddie wrapping him up in that barbed wire and doing the submission like Dreamer used to do. That should have been the end of the match.
Yeah. I've noticed that with a lot of matches they have. They do finishes that could be the finish of that match, but they continuously keep going. And then they get to a finish which wasn't even half as good as the one I saw 4 moves ahead of time. And, they kick out. They just kick out. I'm begging them to sell.
Eddie got the moral throwing him into the spider net, but big deal. He lost. He looks like a fool. He lost again. He got outsmarted again. Jericho's team. I mean, what is it like? What is it? If you work in WWE, can you never lose over there?
I don't know. I mean, he never had a problem before doing jobs. I mean, if he had to put somebody over, he put him over. He didn't care. But now that maybe he's getting older, maybe it's bothering him now. You don't have much time in the ring left. I mean, you think about it, you don't. And then you got, whatever time he has left, he's going to be with Fozzy. You know what I mean? He's not going to be bumping in the rings because, he's been doing that forever. He's making great money in Japan now when he goes there. I think he makes $100,000 a match. So,
he should be, in my opinion, more like Regal, the managerial role every once in a while fight. Problem is, it's my opinion, his fucking Jericho appreciation, they suck. I like the square head. It's like, yeah, over there, entertainers and all that. I think he's kind of funny. But none of them have any personality.
I don't know. He just puts them, I guess he just likes to put factions together and, do his gimmick. Because they're sports entertainers.
Like I said, sports entertainers.
Yeah.
He's got a personality. I like him. I don't know.
He cuts good promos. He cuts good promos. He reminds me of a young me, believe it or not. He cuts good promos and he's young. You know what I mean?
Hager's terrible.
Yeah, and then with the FTR belt, I don't know what's up with that. You know what I mean?
What I didn't get, we see Christian, highlight of my fucking week is Christian Cage. And
he don't do anything though. He don't do anything.
Luchasaurus just turns on him after like 2 weeks. It's like, is he gonna fuck Jungle Boy and be with Christian, which makes sense? It's like, what the fuck? This makes no sense.
I know. We were actually looking at each other asking, where is Jungle Boy at? And then here he comes popping in. And then I'm like, okay, what angle are they doing? And then I'm like, oh, he's back. And they didn't even do an angle. Like, I thought they were going to,
he's hurt. I think there's something wrong with him. I think he's hurt. He might still be walked down kind of funny, but and does anybody care about Brian Pillman's kid? And that is the most devalued fucking second generation wrestler I've ever seen in my life.
That was one of the matches we were upset with. We watched the match and they just jobbed Pillman and his partner out. They're just jobbing them out. I don't understand. Why put them together and push them if you're just going to use them as a job tag team?
See, here's my bitch. So that's a homegrown team. did the job to Christian from WWE. Beginning match, Darby Allin, the hottest guy, one of the hottest guys they got with Sting, does the job to a guy who was in WWE. Even the main event, Eddie Kingston does the job to the guy who was in WWE. The best friends against Moxley and Yuta. WWE guy gets, what the fuck?
So you're telling me that they had Brody and they let him go?
Yeah, he was in NXT.
Why would they let him go?
Yeah, Malachi all gone.
Blows my mind, man. Like, who are making these decisions up there? They just blow my mind. Plus, I heard that a lot of people, because I was in a couple locker rooms last month, and a lot of guys are bitching. A lot of girls are bitching that Vince, he's hiring not pro wrestlers. He's more or less hiring professional athletes and then trying to teach them pro wrestling. That's what he's doing, I noticed. Where a lot of the girls, I mean, I guess I was just happened to be in the right locker room. I just hear them bitching, and they're more or less saying, oh, yeah, they don't hire us no more because we're not an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know how to wrestle, they'd rather hire an ex-Olympic wrestler and then teach him how to work instead. Which I get, but it's never been that way, and it's never can be that way. Because a lot of guys that play football and other sports, they can't wrestle. I mean, I know that for a fact. I've seen it. A lot of MMA guys that think that they can do our business of wrestling can't. I mean, they look horrible. Some of the ones that they were showing on AEW, that was awful. When I was watching Orlovsky and the other guy that was the heavyweight champ, the Spanish guy.
Oh, Junior
Dos Santos. Yeah, I mean, those guys can't work. They're shooters. I mean, they're throwing punches and you could see they're landing them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just by you trying to be soft, it's so obvious that it looks bad. It just looks bad.
Well, Hager, he has no linear movement. He can't move. I mean, he looks good. He's tall, big guy, muscular guy. Was probably a badass. I've seen a couple of his Bellator fights. Tough guy.
Yeah, he's a great.
Clumsy.
He's a number one ranked fucking college wrestler. First, you know, like Brock Lesnar, he's in that first category, you know. So when it comes to mat work, he's unbelievable. But he does the MMA and then he wants to do wrestling. I think Jericho keeps him in spot where his spot is. Just if Jericho has a problem, he'll handle it, you know.
Put the guy in a suit, get him a nice suit like Big Bubba, get him some sunglasses, and he just like Wardlow was that whole time with MJF. He just stands there. Once in a while, he has a match, you know.
It's true.
I mean, I don't. It was like Lex Luger, though. I never thought was a very good worker. I thought he looked good, cut. You know, his promos were not that great, but he was good in the Horseman. I thought but he was another ex-football player, just didn't have it. Where Ron Simmons, he could work stiff, but he could work.
Oh yeah, he can work stiff. Believe me, I got hit with his clothesline, almost knocked me out. But it's true. The guy you were saying 2 seconds ago, you mentioned his
Luger.
Yeah, Luger in person I couldn't believe how big he was when I would see him in person. Because everybody else on TV, it adds 10 pounds to you and you look even bigger. But I don't know, the camera never worked with Lex Luger well. Like, to me, he looked smaller on TV. Because when I seen him in person, I couldn't believe how big he was. I mean, I was right there looking right at him like, holy shit. I was like, damn. Like, TV don't do him justice. I don't know what it is. He does have like a smaller torso and his long legs, you know, I get it. His legs were so damn big. His legs had to be 30-something inches. I mean, but you have to have some kind of functionality. If you're going to be playing football, you got to have something. You know what I mean? So
he looked like he had a bodybuilder build. And you know what, I met him, he was nice to me, you know. I mean, you know, the whole 1 minute we were together, but nice, polite guy. I didn't have nothing against him. I just never thought he was a. I don't want to say he was a
didn't have
stiff
that,
worker. He couldn't
he just
move.
didn't have, yeah, he didn't have, he moved very weirdly and awkwardly when he would wrestle. I did notice that.
I think Eddie moves good because Eddie moves like an out of shape street fighter, but it's believable. That's why I thought he should have won that match yesterday. That's like, this is Eddie's kind of match. It's a street fight. Here we go.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I was hoping Chris would have put him over as well. But once I noticed Eddie had about 80% of the match while I was watching it, I was like, here we go. You know, something's going to happen. But at least it was a fuck finish and not a clean pin.
I'm sorry, that Judas effect is fucking stupid. It's a back elbow.
I know, it's
There's
all.
about 1,000 of them. If you can kick out of a super kick, you kick out of a back elbow.
I think he was just trying to come up with something new when he should just keep what he had for his submission.
Yeah, the submission's a great finish. The lion tamer. I mean, I get the moonsault gimmick. He's getting older and it doesn't look as good. But that Boston Crab, the way he leaned back, that looks, there's nothing wrong with it. Wrap him in some barbed wire, hook him up, you know, that looks
And I've seen that move used in real MMA fights, and a guy really taps out. No bullshit. So
yeah, but just going, that's weak. And the way they sell it, it's the Judas effect. Fucking
it's just not, like I said, they should have saved that match for a pay-per-view. I wouldn't have gave it to people for free. A barbed wire everywhere match, people will pay to see that. Giving it free on television, I think, was the big mistake.
The Blood and Guts should have been on pay-per-view too. They wouldn't have taken 6 fucking commercials during it.
Too many. And like I said, they got to figure out a way with this picture stuff. It's just not working out. I don't like it.
You know, like if you go to Raw, because Raw just straight up goes to commercial, and like anytime we've ever gone to a Raw taping here, when it comes time for commercial, they're outside. One guy's laid out, the other one's working. You're not missing shit. They're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, and Jericho's usually pretty good. I notice if he's on camera and they go to commercial, he knows what he's doing because he's worked TV. But a lot of the guys there have never worked TV, so they're just keep going 100 miles an hour.
When the referee says, okay, in his ear, we're going to commercial, that's time for you to take a break. Take a rest hold. Take a big bump where you sell. Get your win back. So when the referee says, we're back from commercial break, then you just start back again. You know what I mean? And just continue doing what you were doing.
They don't do that there.
They don't do it. And I guess they're trying something different because Vince doesn't do it that way. But I just don't think it's working out.
I know we saved this for our main show coming up in a few days, but what about this rumor that WWE's going back to TV 14, the return of the Attitude Era?
Well, it looks like AEW's been taking the Attitude Era lately.
Yeah.
You know, they've been cursing, they've been bleeding, they've been doing all the hardcore shit. Maybe Vince is realizing I'm missing out on, you know, fans now, because you got to remember their best days are behind them when there was the Attitude Era. And that's because they had to, because ECW made it that way. I mean, ECW made them have to go Attitude Era. So they had no choice.
That's what I always said when everybody was like, what happened to ECW? It was like, Vince did it with the budget. That's exactly, he did ECW with money behind it.
Yeah, and he buried it. He buried instead of keeping the company, you know, he could have had a WWE card, which is an A card, a B card, which is a WCW card, and then an ECW card. Okay, he could have had the A, B, and C like he did it back in the 80s when I was there. They were hitting 3 towns a night.
Yeah.
3 cities a night. And they had their A and their B and their C group. Of course, the C group was the smaller houses, and the A and B were the big ones. But they could have did the same exact thing, but I would have used WWF, which is now WWE. I would have kept the WCW, and I still would have had the same guys on it, and I would have kept the ECW with the same guys on it, and then just worked every 3 cities a night.
On the pay-per-view, everybody comes together 4 times a year, not that monthly shit. Make it special.
Yeah, maybe have 3 matches of ECW, 3 matches of WCW, then a 4-match thing of WWF. And I think that'd have been great. But
all the money you could have made in merchandise alone.
That's the thing. I don't think he was thinking straight. Because when I was told that Shane was going to take over the ECW. And he was going to be the boss on the road with the ECW guys. So everybody, we were all happy about that because he's our age and he was cool and we didn't have to work with Vince. We were like, okay, we'll work with his son, and he was down to earth and everything. And then Vince just pulled that from him as well. So no wonder he quit and went to work for WWE Productions.
Even Tommy Dreamer had told stories that they'd sell every shirt they had in ECW. Have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in just cash in his pocket from T-shirt sales in one night. It's like that's some guy's yearly salary. That's I don't get it. And he also said that Paul Heyman would take all of it and leave him with like $1,000, even though he owed him like 50,000. I'd been like, I wouldn't have gave him any of it, Tommy.
Oh yeah, Tommy at one point I think was going to kill his ass.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
Yeah,
he admits that. We're not. Tommy, when though I don't know Tommy. I talked to him once when I was promoting a movie he did. Seemed okay, but I don't like that he runs that hardcore promotion. A lot of guys he could be giving some work to, but he doesn't. So yeah,
you don't bring us in. For that. I don't know. He says, "Oh, I don't want it to be an ECW," but then again, you have other guys that are on it from ECW, so it doesn't make it
the house of hardcore. I
mean, one time Fonzie was there, and he's like, "Can you put me on the show? I'm here in town." He wouldn't even put Fonzie on the show, so it was like, and then everybody just stopped calling him and even asking him. Why bother giving him the satisfaction of saying no?
Fonzie could have just came out at the beginning, blew that whistle. We're here, house of hardcore, daddy. That's it. You wouldn't have him do anything but that. That crowd would have popped because he's doing it in the fucking Philly anyway. I mean, it's not thinking. But there's a booker who's also working, not doing shit now.
He's here and there. I mean, he got a lot of heat for that. Beyond the ropes or whatever that was.
Dark side of the ring.
Side of the ring got a lot of heat for that. I noticed he's starting to get booked again. So,
in his defense, he didn't know what that lady was going to say. That's edited together. It's like Ric Flair did nothing wrong. Then the next, you tried to rape me. It's like, sure, you look like a piece of shit, but I could edit that to make him look good and make her look like a piece of shit. That's the magic of television.
The thing is they all had they all weren't supposed to talk about anything. They had NDAs, and they still talked. So I don't think Tommy should have been the only one that got in trouble. I think it should have been a bunch of people.
All of them. Cost Ric Flair's AEW job. I don't care what anybody says. He was going to be Andrade's manager. I'm convinced of that.
He kind of looks like his son. So
Andrade, he's another one. I just don't. I think my thing is, it's like he looks like $1 million. Nice suits. I love that gold lucha necklace. Not a bad worker. Looks great. The weakest thing though, he can't cut a promo. His English is piss poor. He can't talk. So what does AEW do? Every week they have him do an interview and not wrestle. I don't understand.
Well, and he married Charlotte, I think, Flair.
He's doing okay.
So, and he's wrestling Rick because Rick can trust him.
Who knows?
But all I know is I'll give 4 out of 5 stars for the barbed wire match. I still think, like I said, it should have been on pay-per-view, and they should have made people. Tony Khan should have made people pay for that.
100%.
I think they would have been able to pay them guys more money if they would have did that. That is a brutal match. So
I guess with that's our take on the barbed wire everywhere. I'm with you. I give it 3 stars. I would have gave it more, but the ending just the fact that she couldn't open that fucking cage and those guys were able to slide through bars was. But I'm sorry, Ty Conte. That was one of the highlights was her running down because I like watching her run. Right? She's hot. Sammy's doing okay. I can understand why he, broke up with the fat girl and hooked up with Ty Conte. I mean,
Yeah, I believe that. I do. I still feel sorry for that girl, though, man. I just feel bad for her.
once they're in the ring, proposes to her. A month later, he dumps her. Proposes to the other one in Paris. But see, he became a baby face. They get better racks.
Gotcha.
That's my logic.
True, and that works.
We will be back in a few days with the normal show.
Yes, we will. Absolutely.